Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we'll discuss mortgages. As for me, I reached a financial milestone last year as I paid off my mortgage. In this video I will first talk about buying versus renting, including a great tip I have heard for young people. Then I will give my 2 cents on whether it makes sense to accelerate paying off your mortgage. And finally, I will walk you through my own journey, telling you why and how I paid off my mortgage early, which has made me completely debt-free. First, let's consider buying versus renting. The default thinking in many countries, my country Finland included, is to buy a house or a flat at the start of your working career, take a mortgage for it and then pay it off monthly for years on end, often decades. I definitely think this should not be the automatic path, as this default path comes with several caveats. Indeed, you might be better off renting than buying, at least for some time. First, if there is a possibility that you would have to move for work, chances are renting makes more sense financially than buying, because then you're freer to relocate for better job opportunities, which will benefit you financially. Of course, you could always sell your home or rent it out when relocating, but those processes are not as straightforward as moving out of a rental home, and they could also set you back financially. Second, location, location, location. In my country, there are just some specific dynamic urban areas where property prices are likely to increase. On the other hand, if you buy a home in a stagnating area with a dwindling population, you're likely to see the value of your home decrease, in which case buying doesn't make sense financially speaking. Now, one of the best pieces of advice I've heard for young people in this respect is to buy stocks instead of a home. When you're young, you're more likely to move, and owning a home ties you to a certain place. Also, the value of your home may or may not appreciate. By contrast, stocks will come with you wherever you decide to go, and the value of a diversified stock portfolio is bound to increase in the long run. Plus, the dividends will provide you with a steady flow of passive income. Now let's move on to the question of whether you should accelerate paying off your mortgage. The short answer is absolutely yes. If you can pay extra, even by little amounts, you will avoid paying interest, which is the cost of the money lent to you. The longer you hold the loan, the more interest you will pay, and the more your home will end up costing you. In fact, the final cost of your home could easily be 50% or more than the original purchase price, with the interest that you have paid. That being said, we went through a period of historically low interest rates up until last year. But now, with the rising interest rates, you're definitely paying dearly for your mortgage, and we don't know what the interest rates will be in the future. Now, with those low interest rates, it did make sense not to pay off your mortgage prematurely and tie your cash into it, as your cash could be working for you elsewhere and earning a return, for example with dividend stocks, which was my case. But as we know, at least for the time being, the interest rates are not what they used to be. In addition, even though mortgage is considered good debt as opposed to bad consumer debt, it is liberating both financially and psychologically to be debt-free or to have as little debt as possible. Finally, I'll tell you how I handled my mortgage. This was actually the second time I paid off a mortgage. After the first time, I decided to sell the place and bought a more expensive one and took on a new mortgage. Well, talk about lifestyle inflation. This second mortgage was basically for another 10 years, and although I was planning to pay it off quicker, the decisive moment came last autumn when the interest rate rose higher than the dividend yield of certain stocks, and there were also some tax considerations involved. So that's when I quite quickly took action and sold about 10% of my stock portfolio and also used some cash. The 4 stocks that I sold were Novo Nordisk, the Danish pharmaceutical and a leading diabetes drug manufacturer, Walmart, the giant US retailer, Nestle, the Swiss food and beverage giant, and Telenor, the Norwegian teleoperator. The dividend yield of Telenor was as high as 9%, but selling my stocks made sense tax-wise because there was significant capital loss in the stock price. I have to say that I couldn't be happier being debt-free. Besides, this gives me financial leeway as I can now invest even more in dividend stocks, which I love. In a nutshell, buying a home is not necessarily better than renting. You do gain financially from paying off your mortgage early, which I did with some financial arrangements. As a disclaimer, this video obviously just reflects my personal views and journey and should on no account be taken as advice on how to financially manage your housing. This video is just information and entertainment. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.